Good day! A different video today. I will talk with you about my gear. So these are my old helmets. I also have the Nishua right here. That's all the helmets I own. So Scorpion XO700 Crackhead helmet. An MRT unknown, bought it from a Gamma Icon variant Big Game Hunter, and then the Nishua Lightweight Carbon Enduro. Let's start with helmet 1 and make some space. This is the Crackhead helmet, Scorpion XO700, it's the oldest helmet. This helmet is probably, I would say, 13 or 14 years old. I bought it when I was still doing my lessons, and obviously back in the day when I was young I bought it mainly for the design. It did fit with the Kawasaki I owned, that also was black and red, and I think this is the helmet that has seen the most crashes, but also the most severe crash. It was comfy, it fitted nice, it had the proper lock system, which was very easy to use, removable lining, and also roughly a size M, fence up front, fence in the rear, there, and these that you can open and close, summer and winter time. These you could open and close, and of course this one you could open and close. Why did I stop using the helmet? Well, that's mainly why. Visor you can replace, but this is irreplaceable. Still hard right there, but this was the secondary impact. The first impact was roughly there. You can see some paint that chipped off. Here some plastic that dropped away, and some paint that's all gone. And somewhere around this place, when you apply pressure, you can feel it moving. So the helmet internally is cracked there. That saved my head for obvious reasons. This helmet has been through the CT scanner, so footage of that is visible, and you can see the crack. So yeah, this happened when you go riding with 120-130 km, get a tank slapper, lose the bike in a high sider, land on your back first, roll over, slide a little bit, get up, and then I kind of sit out the journey across the highway on my butt. We called police, I took pictures of everything, and then I had to drive home with this helmet. That is one of the last times that helmet has been used. Maybe been used once or more twice when I was getting my new helmet, but yeah, that was good enough to say, no, you go on the wall to remind me. Still looks awesome, the good side. By looks I absolutely love it, but the other side, everywhere you look, you see damage in paint and what not more. So yeah, that was my first helmet. The weight was 1550 grams, more or less. So not that heavy even back then. Then we'll go to this helmet. Okay, then we go to the MRT. That helmet is probably gonna be 8 or 9 years old. The brand is MTR. I'm probably saying that wrongly the entire time. Yeah, MTR. And I bought it at the Gamma. I cannot find which exactly model it is, I'm sorry. It has fans here that you can open. It has fans here that you can open and close. It has some air outlet in the back that you cannot open. This has always been a secondary helmet, a vlogging helmet. We got the Drift logo right there. And on the back You got Republic Moto, which was a hangout spot in Rotterdam that's closed. Riding Dutch, which still makes content. The eyes were just eyes. I posted on it because I thought it was funny. My own sticker, Lit Ride sticker. Oh, and of course a monster, because why not? So yeah, that was the cheap secondary helmet I used for whenever ever, and just in case I crashed again. I also used it when somebody wanted to go ride on the back and they don't have their own helmet. And during one of the group rides I used the straps to strap it on the side of the back of the bike so it could film backwards. Great idea, until you take your Honda, which is already a little bit vibrating, up and down curbs until it breaks. That's the same system as the Scorpion, but the bloody plastic broke. Now I could replace this one with the Scorpion one and try to see if I can get this helmet working again, but I don't know why. It's a cheap helmet, it's not going to be used anymore. This screw vibrated loose as well. And like I said, why should I? I did use it also during the International Film Festival of Rotterdam, if the camera wants to focus. And bizarrely, even though this helmet was cheaper, it was also lighter than the Crackhead Scorpion XO700 with 1400 grams, so 1.4 kilos. Then probably the most expensive helmet I ever owned, and still a beauty, the Icon variant Big Game Hunting. By the time I bought this helmet I already crashed the Scorpion XO. It's time for a new helmet. I wanted something that fitted with the Kawasaki. I really liked this style of helmets they produced. I went looking and decided I want a Big Game Hunter. I like the red, the black, it fits really nice with the Kawasaki I had. I called up 3 stores in the Netherlands. That were the only 3 stores in the Netherlands that sold Icon variant, and none of them had them in store. The one up north couldn't even order it properly, he said. The one in Tilburg could, I think it was Tilburg. And the one in Rotterdam could, so I ordered it. When I went to pick it up in the store, the lady there that picked it up said, you know, we got a note that this is the first one in the Netherlands. And probably for a very long time it was the only one in the Netherlands. I think I've only seen one other one in the wild. So yeah, it might be still a rare one. So it got front facing ventilation, and ventilation can open and close. Although I've been playing with this button too much while riding, so it's a little bit of wobbly. In here it also has ventilation that you can open and close on both sides. You can also open and close those, which is really easy. These are really easy to use with your glove. And there's some nice back vents, and there as well in the back. So airflow in this helmet was amazing. What also was very amazing was how silent it was. And how easy it is to replace the visor, although I drove year round with this black one. If I bought this helmet in 2013, then this helmet is 7 or 8 years old as well. I've used it probably until it was roughly 6 years old. It has some wear and tear here and there. No, it was the first declip system for me, which in this angle is really weird to do. Tight. And honestly, it might be the best helmet I ever owned. But this silicone doesn't belong here, but it's because this part was coming off. I siliconed it all the way around. All the way around. Why? Because the glue that is original there just lets go. You have this nice black clip Well, I lost mine while riding. Even the fact that I lost some paint, I don't know how. The biggest downside for me is this part that keeps coming off. It rips the paint with it, and I don't know how many times I have either glued that or siliconed it, or on the rear as well. So yeah, that was my biggest annoyance. The fact that this has wear and tear, no problem, I can always fix that or replace that. I can always buy a new one for this, but just this line was annoying. And the fact that it's 6 years old, I mean at some time you need to say, you know what, time to replace it, time to retire it. I would love to go back to Icon Variant because it was very quiet. It was also the heaviest helmet with 1650 grams, so 1.6.5 kilos. Still like it, but it has seen better days and it will not be worn now. Especially now with the new Icon variants that are a lot lighter. However, I didn't go for a new Icon variant. I went for the Nishua Super Light Carbon. Multiple reasons, but one of them was obviously that I had an opportunity to do a product review collaboration. I think my gloves are still inside. Yes, hello. Mount, obviously the Senna and all the cables. So as you can see, this one goes around, and in here this one doesn't go around. This means it's because I cut out a small triangle in the plastics, meaning it can fit and hide right there. That's the microphone of the Drift, of course. And the other modification I did was, of course, I made these two black parts, the plastics, blue. This is very easy because you can remove this part. Like so. And this one is then very easy to paint. Both sides, so it looks perfect. Obviously I decided to leave this silver because it looks better. Which also means you can ride the bike like this. This is quite an aggressive modern day look. It's also the same principle system, so this one you turn around on both sides. How you replace your visor. In this case with pin lock. And I have a tinted visor, but it's winter time. You can also ride loosely mounted. You can also ride it without visor for on your cross bike. And it still looks like it's supposed to. Which if I had goggles I would try once. Also the visor has two modes, two positions. I have an upright bike, so I tend to keep mine a little bit more upright. And this is my helmet now. It's also quite soundproof, not as quiet as the Icon was, but at least a lot quieter than the MTR. Ventilation up front, with a rear pocket on the side and a rear pocket there, and a rear pocket here. There some ventilation is the only one that you can open and close. This on the rear. Also with the declap for the safety reasons. Only downside of this helmet is this is the smallest point, and nothing between here and close. But the other helmet always has a small opening. This one only has like roughly like that. Almost like a finger thick. So that is maybe the only problem I had with this helmet. The pin lock were great. And the full helmet, so sun visor, normal visor, etc. weighs 1150 kilograms. So yeah, roughly half a kilo lighter than the Icon variant that I had. So yeah, that's the helmet I'm using now. Nishua Super Light Carbon Enduro version. They also have a sport version, I think. If I can find the helmets, I'll link them down below. So yeah, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. And I think I need to change the lighting. On to the next one.